your next step kind of thing. That
the next
if
step.
you're okay, so on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you have grand visions of what you'd like to do and be, and on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday you're maybe depressed a little bit, and then on Sunday you have to ask the Lord, please, Lord, help me, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm thinking of what that, if you were to say that very modest prayer about help me take the next step with this young adult generation.
Oh, wow. That is a great question. Please, Lord, let me take the next step. Uh, let me live into my role as a courageous advocate. I think it has to do something with courage. I think many of us don't see ourselves as um, holding the right to make a change, that we feel that we are not the people to do it, that we are not, we feel disempowered in the literal sense of the word.
Let me hold you on that word courage. This is not a word that's commonplace uh, in many Christian circles.
Mm,
I mean, it was in the early centuries when we had martyrs,
yeah.
people who were facing up with Roman soldiers and things like this. But courage really isn't as such a biblical term,
Hmm.
but it could be the term, and I heard it from you, that we need to have front and center of where we are today. And if you, it could be, now that I hear myself talk, it could be a kind of a lens to help us read certain stories, above all, certain stories about Jesus and the Gospels, and doing weird things, going strange places, and talking to the Samaritan woman. I mean, Jesus was not supposed to journey from the north to the south by going through Samaria, but he did. Okay.
Hmm.
He must have had some courage to break the law and just take the short route, so to speak, through Samaria. And there he encountered this woman at the well with whom he was not supposed to speak.
Hmm.
And she rose up and she instructed him. She engaged in conversation. Would you believe as an equal? You address me, I address you. Now, how did I get off on this? That is, oh, maybe planning your life for you. That there's a place. Oh, courage. That if nothing else that I get from this wonderful, engaging conversation, I'm going to go back to the drawing board, I think, and think about courage. Paul Tillich wrote a book, the theologian Paul Tillich, called The Courage to Be. Uh, it's a sort of heavy book,
Yeah.
but it it is, and it stands alone. I think you've really taught me something. I mean, I think that might be the sort of the driving construct that we want to lay hold of because we get discouraged all the time. We're scared, don't feel adequate, all sorts of things. But maybe courage is it. And I thank you for that.
I, yeah, I think it's scarier. It's easier. We have the tools to think of ourselves as like, I'm just me. I do my thing. I know what system I'm a part of. I know how to get from my day to day. It is easier to be asleep. It's easier to be on autopilot. I think it does take effort. It takes courage to think beyond that,
Oh,
to one envision beyond
let,
that.
let me tell you about how you have to, in your work, I'm writing your future for how you have to deal with Lutherans.
Uh-huh.
That is, Lutherans by tradition, not all Lutherans, but by traditions, Lutherans have this idea of vocation. That is, I'm justified by faith. God sets me free to be a good pastor, a good dentist, a good writer, a good farmer, and so forth. Those are all sort of options that are given to us. I mean, that, what are you going to be when you grow up? Well, I'm going to be this, that, and the other thing. What we're not, as I hear myself talk now, having been inspired by you, is that we're not told how we're going to get the courage to deal with the principalities and powers that shape being this and being that and being that and living in this world where this neo-fascist, if not fascist world in which we're living. And so one of the things I take from this conversation is, one, that Bonhoeffer still has real importance, that his story, that is not the captive bourgeois Bonhoeffer, but the real Bonhoeffer. And the other thing is that Lutherans really don't know how to talk about courage. I mean, everybody knows what it is and it's a good thing and so forth, but maybe it's the central thing. What do you think?
Hey, we're the reforming church, aren't we? We're the ones who had the courage. Well, Luther was the one who had the courage to imagine something outside of what the institution was.
And to put himself on the line.
Yep.
So, I mean, you see the sort of the denominational promo movies about Here I Stand, and it's romanticized, and he's a hero. But it took enormous courage to do that. I mean, he was just a little monk in the backwoods part of Germany.
Start wrapping up.
Okay. My manager is telling me that I should start wrapping up.
I don't want to interrupt.
But I have been wrapping up for the last 5 minutes.
I know.
And
we caught our second wind here, Heather.
That is, we made this discovery that we need more conversations about, as well as internalization of the classical virtue of courage. And I thank you for that. That's my wrap up, Heather.
Okay.
I really learned a lot in this conversation, and I thank you for that.
As did I. I'm so happy that we got to meet. We went over our 45 minutes, but it was worth it for me.
Okay, it was delightful. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.